Friends, lovers of history, and connoisseurs of the utterly bizarre, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a wild ride through the legal history of some truly landmark U.S. legislation. Prepare to have your perceptions of justice, fairness, and the sheer audacity of humankind thoroughly challenged. We're talking about laws that shaped a nation, one ridiculously convoluted court case at a time. When you hear the story behind the Civil Rights Act of 1964, you'll understand why they needed more than just a few amendments. It wasn't just a smooth legislative breeze. It was a hurricane of legal battles, filibusters that stretched longer than some people's marriages, and compromises that would make a seasoned diplomat blush. We're talking about decades of struggle, culminating in a piece of legislation so monumental, so transformative, that it's hard to imagine the America that existed before it. Think about the sheer audacity of segregation, the casual, legalized discrimination, and then consider the sheer grit and determination it took to dismantle it. I wonder what planet some of those segregationist judges were on. And then there's the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Oh, the stories I could tell. The sheer audacity of poll taxes, literacy tests designed to disenfranchise entire populations. It's enough to make you spit out your coffee. This wasn't just about passing a law. It was about overcoming centuries of systemic oppression. It was about ensuring that the promise of democracy, that glittering ideal, wasn't just a hollow slogan, but a tangible reality for every citizen. It was a legal battle fought not just in courtrooms, but in the streets, in the voting booths, and in the hearts and minds of a nation grappling with its own demons. Let's not forget the landmark environmental legislation of the 1970s. The Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, these weren't just about protecting the environment. They were about protecting ourselves, about recognizing the inextricable link between human health and the health of the planet. Imagine the arguments, the lawyers fighting tooth and nail against regulations that, in hindsight, seem utterly commonsensical. It's a testament to human ingenuity, both the ingenuity of those who fought to protect the environment and the ingenuity of those who tried, with varying degrees of success, to circumvent those protections. Some of the arguments presented were, well, let's just say they'd make a great stand-up routine. The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, another epic legal saga. It's hard to believe that, just a few decades ago, access for people with disabilities was so limited. The fight for this act wasn't just about ramps and elevators. It was about challenging deeply ingrained societal biases and prejudices. It was about recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of every individual, regardless of their physical or mental abilities. The sheer number of legal battles surrounding its implementation is a testament to how deeply entrenched those biases were. It's a reminder that progress isn't always linear. It's often a messy, chaotic, and sometimes hilariously absurd fight. Now let's delve into the complexities of campaign finance laws. The legal battles surrounding campaign finance reform are like a never-ending soap opera, a tangled web of influence, money, and political maneuvering. The Supreme Court cases alone could fill an entire library. One might think that the goal of campaign finance reform is simple, to ensure fair and transparent elections. But the reality is far more nuanced and often, frankly, comical. The sheer creativity of those trying to find loopholes is astounding. I sometimes wonder if they're actually trying to win the case, or just to create the most convoluted legal argument imaginable. And what about the legal battles surrounding healthcare reform? The Affordable Care Act, another monumental piece of legislation that has faced relentless legal challenges since its inception. The sheer number of lawsuits, the intricate web of legal arguments, the passionate debates, it's a story that underscores the profound political and social divisions within the nation. The arguments presented on both sides of the debate are fascinating and sometimes utterly bewildering. The sheer complexity of the healthcare system itself makes it a fertile ground for legal battles, a landscape where even the most experienced lawyers can find themselves lost in a maze of regulations and interpretations. But it's not just about the big headline-grabbing legislation. Think about the countless smaller laws, the local ordinances, the state regulations, each with its own unique legal history, its own triumphs and failures, its own moments of absurdity. Each one represents a struggle, a negotiation, a compromise, a battle fought in courtrooms and legislative chambers across the nation. Each one is a piece of the larger puzzle that makes up the American legal system, a system as complex, as contradictory, and as fascinating as the nation it serves. Throughout this journey through legal history, We've encountered countless instances of legal brilliance, legal absurdity, and everything in between. We've seen how laws are shaped not only by logic and reason, but also by political pressure, social movements, and even plain old human stubbornness. The history of landmark U.S. legislation is a story of progress, of setbacks, of compromises, and of the enduring human struggle for justice. It's a story filled with dramatic turns, unexpected twists, and enough legal jargon to make your head spin. And while it's a serious topic, let's not forget the inherent absurdity of it all, the human element that makes these legal battles so captivating, so unforgettable, and sometimes just plain funny. The reality, my friends, is often stranger than fiction. And the legal history of landmark U.S. legislation is a prime example. The next time you hear about a new law, a new Supreme Court decision, remember the long, winding, often hilarious path that led to its creation. Remember the battles fought, the compromises made, the unexpected twists and turns. Remember that behind every piece of legislation, there's a story waiting to be told. A story filled with drama, intrigue, and more than a few moments of sheer comedic genius. So next time you're flipping through the channels and stumble upon a legal drama on TV, remember, reality can be far more entertaining, and far more complicated, and dare I say, far more absurd. Thank you for joining me on this whirlwind tour through the legal history of some of America's most impactful legislation. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, the legal system is a wild place.